you might already know the harsh reality. Women will frequently leave a man because he can't get it up. When he experiences sexual performance anxiety over and over again, it makes him increasingly insecure. He acts out in the relationship, not just sexually, but in the whole relationship. He begins to act differently, and that can sabotage a relationship pretty quickly. But the good news is you can beat this thing. It's your own body. You can control this. So let's talk about how we can crush sexual performance anxiety in just 4 easy steps. Step number 1 is stop trying to pretend. When you're in bed with a woman and you realize that you're not hard yet, you kind of pretend like it's not happening, hoping that you can, get it to happen. And then you're in this loop. So first of all, you're trying to get an erection. You're trying to be aroused. Secondly, you're nervous that you're not being aroused. And then third, you've got this third level of cognitive load that you don't want her to know. So you're playing this pretend game. So lighten that cognitive load. The first step in becoming more confident about your sexuality is to accept the truth of yourself and your sexuality. Stop trying to pretend. Stop trying to be someone else or something that you're not. And look, I know what I'm talking about here. It takes guts. It's not easy to admit and be clear about what's really going on for you. It takes real balls to drop the act and be yourself, because once you're really being yourself, you've got to face up to the fact that if you get rejected, it's not just some mask that got rejected. It's you. It's the real you. But guess what? When you are authentic like that, you won't ever be rejected, because women deeply admire the kind of confidence it takes to truly be yourself. Here's the thing that is so counterintuitive about this situation. Just thinking about being completely open and authentic makes most men feel massive anxiety. Now, if it makes you feel that much anxiety just to think about it, how possibly can it make you less nervous in real life? Well, because while it does take courage to be authentic, and it can be scary to do it, once you break through the other side, once you've actually done the thing that makes you anxious, you actually feel fantastic. It actually does diminish your stress level dramatically. It's like bungee jumping, right? The hardest part is getting ready to jump off. It's standing there, I don't want to jump, I don't want to jump, I don't want to jump. Once you've gotten up the nerve to do that, then it's a rush, right? Then it's like, woof. And then after that part, it's over. After that part, it's over, right? The nervousness is over because you're alive. So you get the fun part then of having done it. You feel good about yourself for having conquered a fear. You feel great because you beat your fear. So if you feel nervous around a woman and you don't try to pretend that you're not nervous, if you stop pretending that you're some super cool movie star hero, if you stop trying to guess what you should say to impress her, and you just act like the authentic you, the nervousness will go away. You will feel great on the other side because you faced your fear. And she's still right there with you, accepting you with all of your faults. The real, normal you. Because for a woman, a man who's not afraid to be authentic is as rare as a flawless diamond. So I might mention here that if you're single and this stuff is affecting you, kind of a side note to the sexual dysfunction thing, if you're single and you struggle with this stuff, right? You find yourself constantly feeling insecure and afraid of women, and it's difficult for you to overcome that in order to act normal and authentic with a woman and create genuine attraction. We got a program for that. So just a little side note, you might want to go over to howtomantv.com and check out a course called The Catch. It's pretty powerful stuff, and it will change your life. Okay, back to what we were talking about here. Step 2, stop thinking about you so much. Stop being so self-absorbed. Sure, you're nervous because you keep thinking about all of the things that you might be doing right or doing wrong, and you're worried about how she's going to think you are performing. Instead, pay attention to her. Pay attention to her. And know it doesn't count as paying attention to her when you think something like, I wonder what she's thinking about me. That's still thinking about you, okay? Stop wondering if she thinks you're cool or sexy. Stop thinking about what you should do next. Stop worrying about the size of your penis. Stop worrying if it's going to be hard enough. Stop all of those thoughts. Just push those thoughts of yourself out of your head. Now, obviously, it is a well-known fact that it's very hard to shove thoughts out of your head. The more you try not to think about an elephant, the more you're going to think about an elephant, right? Unless you replace those thoughts with something else to occupy your brain, something more interesting that captivates your attention more than thinking about yourself. So what on earth could be more interesting than your insecurities? How about her naked body? It sounds obvious. And many men will then just tell me, well, of course I'm paying attention to her. But you're not really. They're not really paying attention to her. They're absorbed in their own doubt, and they're not paying attention to her. But very often, by the way, a man will try to furiously fantasize about something, but that gets you still caught in this mental loop. Instead, absorb yourself in her, in the sight of her body, the feeling of her skin, the sound of her breath or her soft moans, the smell of her hair. I mean, really get lost in her, like really get completely focused on, it's like there's a form of meditation where you stare at a candle and you get totally absorbed in the flickering of a candle in order to escape your thoughts. It's like that. It's almost meditative. Get really into her. Not only will it keep you from thinking about your insecurities, but also, side benefit, she will get really into it too. Like she can feel your attention. Just as a woman can sense if you're nervous, she can also sense when you're really absorbed in and enjoying her body. And brother, trust me on this, try me on this, she will love it. She will love it. Getting into her mind, feeling compassion for her nervousness, by the way, because especially if it's the first time you're together with a woman, which is often when performance anxiety hits, if you can get into her nervousness and anxiety, right? It's her first time with you too. And then doing your best to make her feel reassured and comfortable. That's bonus points and extremely, extremely functional in helping you to get past this little problem. All right, step 3, live in the moment. Live in the moment. Just like thinking too much about you, thinking itself can become a problem that creates anxiety. Many men have a problem shutting down, just the general chatter in their brain. They're not just anxious thinking about themselves, but they're anxious thinking about the last date that went wrong for them, or what they should do tomorrow morning, or what she's going to think of you later if they sleep with this girl tonight, or if they don't sleep with her tonight, or if they get it up or they don't get it up. All of this stuff is kind of future focused, and all of these thoughts become distracting. They are the reflection of a nervous mind. And one way to take care of this is with, tip number 2 above, focusing on her. But another way to look at this, a more advanced way, is to focus on being in the moment, being present. Your friends who are into meditation and yoga and stopped eating meat, right? They all call this becoming present, right? And it's not just airy-fairy, hand-wavy stuff. It's pretty powerful stuff. It means that you limit your awareness and thoughts to the exact present moment that you are experiencing. Don't think about the past, not the failures or the future or the victories. Don't think about the future at all. Forget all those what ifs and strategies for what to do next. And as Ram Dass wrote, the title of his book, just be here now. Be here now. This is a very powerful way to experience all of life. You can't do it all the time. Obviously, there are times that call for planning and thinking about the future, or learning by reflecting upon the past. But some moments in life really call to you for being totally and completely present. And making love to a woman has got to be at the top of the list as one of those moments. Becoming fully present, focusing yourself to live in the moment is one of the most powerful ways to destroy your anxiety, and also one of the most powerful ways to live your life, to really be present and live your life, because whether you are present for your life or not, it goes by. One avenue into this where you have been probably present in the past is in athletics. When you're in the middle of an intense sport, and I don't care whether that's, I don't know, whatever your game is, tennis, soccer, boxing for me, air hockey. I was playing air hockey recently, and you can't be distracted. You can't play air hockey and think about what's going to happen later tonight on a date with that hottie, right? You could, there's only space to watch that floating little puck. So if you're into athletics in any way, then you know what it is to be completely present. You know what it is to have that kind of single focus on what's happening in the here and now. And if you want more access to it, a little recommendation for you, there's an app called Waking Up. And it's, I don't know how much it costs, but they've got a policy. Sam Harris, the guy that owns the app, has a policy that if you can't afford it, you write to them, send an email, they'll give it to you for free. And that app has like a 10-minute sessions training program on meditation. But the secret clue is it actually helps you to train your mind, like going to the gym to train your body for a sport. It helps you to train your mind for this thing that we call becoming present, if this is hard for you, and it's hard for most humans, right? So the big key, get out of your head and into your body. Like, feel your senses. Stop living above the neck and really experience the senses in your body. But if you can do that, you'll be present with her. You'll really be present, like really be in the 5 senses, be in your body, not in your mind. Step 4, cultivate masculine confidence. Confidence is key, right? Getting completely comfortable with your masculine sexuality, with your desires, that happens only when you have true sexual confidence. When you really know what you're doing, right? When you really know that you're good in bed, and you really know what you want, and you are really certain of how much she is going to like it as well, how much she's going to like what you really want. Most men struggle with this, with really feeling good and confident that their desires and all that stuff that you want to do to her is acceptable, because for most of your life, it's socially bad and wrong, right? There's a whole social layer of society where, you walking around with an erection down the street would be crazy and weird and wrong. So it's easy to become, uncomfortable with this stuff, right? But getting good with your desires is key to this thing that we call masculine sexual confidence. When you get this stuff, that's when all the nervous energy finally just disappears, right? When you know that you know what to do in the bedroom and that it's all good and that you're comfortable with it, that's when you can have perfect sexual chemistry with a woman without any anxiety. I had a lover at one point who was, she was a fashion model, and she worked in Italy for a while. And I said, well, what's the best sexual experience that you ever had? Because it's something that I've been curious about for a long time in my life. So it's a question that I ask, what's the best sexual experience that you ever had, and why? What made it so good? And I remember this was the first time I ever heard this, not the last time, the first time I ever heard this. And what she said to me, what made the sexual experience so good was he really knew exactly what he wanted. Not he did this to me or he did that to me or, he was amazing with his tongue or he had a big dick. No, he knew exactly what he wanted. That's what made it so good. And I've repeated that to a lot of other women and said, is that? And they're all like, oh, so hot, right? This is what's exciting for women, your confidence around your sexuality. And that kind of confidence and assertiveness is the sort of thing that fills women not just with sexual desire, but maybe more importantly, with respect for you. But the really amazing truth is that most guys don't know how easy it is to learn how to make this confidence an authentic part of yourself. So, do you wish you could believe me, but you're just not sure I'm right about this? Well, go check out my sexual mastery course. Just go check that out. There's a free sample clip of it on How to Man TV. You should get this program. It is hilariously inexpensive to get it. And more importantly, it's refundable. Exactly so that I don't have to spend a lot of time getting you to take my word for it. Just go through the first 10 minutes, all right? And write down these 4 key ideas and then use them watching this stuff and getting like a cool insight is a waste of time if you're not going to go out and apply it to make your life more exciting and rewarding. I hope you will do that, and I hope to see you inside of How to Man.